Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings today. A lot has been happening in the red chambers and even the green chambers. I'm talking about the Senate and also the House of Representatives. And we have a trending news for you right now. And the headline of the news reads, breaking: rapes tells service chiefs resign now or be sacked. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. All right, let's look at the news in detail. The news happened that the House of Representatives on Wednesday unanimously asked service chiefs in the country to immediately resign their position as they have outlived their usefulness to the nation. This House said the service chiefs have not been able to address the security challenges confronting the country since 2015, when they were appointed by the president, adding that they have adopted same strategies that have not yielded any positive results. Arising from a motion of urgent public importance moved by the chief whip of the House, Honorable Mohammed Mongunu, and 14 others, the House asked President Muhammadu Buhari to sack the service chief if they fail to resign their position. In the motion titled "Need to Curb the Incessant Attack of Boko Haram Insurgents in the Northeast Zone," Mongunu expressed concern about the recent upsurge in attack by the Boko Haram insurgents in the Northeast Zone, recalling that activities of the insurgents were reduced to the barest minimum, resulting in improved security in Borno and Yobe State. He said that successes recorded by the security agents led to increased economic activity within the Northeast Zone, adding that regrettably the insurgents who were relegated to the background are now unleashing terror in Borno and Yobe State. He said in his word, and I quote, "Recently, the insurgents have forced the Nigerian military to close traffic on the Damaturu-Maiduguri road for some days now. The Damaturu-Maiduguri road is the only access from Maiduguri to other parts of Nigeria." Abubakar Fulata, who is also a representative in Jigawa under APC party, called for the withdrawal of security personnel serving in the Northeast and their replacement with new personnel, adding that the long overstay of the security personnel have largely contributed to their inefficiencies as they are tired of remaining there. Honorable Abdul Razak Namdas said offshore in attack by Boko Haram in the Northeast and increasing insecurity across the country was worrisome, but opposed the idea of removing all personnel currently serving in the area, saying their experience was still needed to assist those that will be sent to work there. He reminded the House that the Nigerian Constitution allowed the president to invite the military to intervene in internal security of the nation, but stressed the need to retrain and equip the police to properly handle internal security in the country. In his contribution, Francis Wave said the issue of insecurity in the country has gone beyond the issue of one zone, stressing that every Nigerian should be concerned about what is going on in the country. And don't forget that the Red House, I'm talking about, that's the Senate, they've also talked about this issue, but in their own case, it was in very strong terms, because Abaribe had asked the president to step down. He should resign his appointment. If you check if you check our feed, you see the video there, as they are very serious about it. And I think right now everybody wants something positive to happen, because what is currently going on in the country is really, really unthinkable, unbelievable. Nobody believed that it will go as far as this. But however, we're going to be discussing that in a jiffy. But then let's look at some of the comments of Nigerians. And this one said, "Do not blame the service chief, blame Buhari for keeping them there despite repeated public outcry over the years. Instead, Soon after he rigged himself back into second term, he personally passed a vote of confidence on them, to the shock and amazement of Nigerians. That simply means they are doing his bidding and instruction. Otherwise, I still can't figure out how on earth Nigeria was and is still going through such enormous security challenges. And the commander-in-chief is giving a thumb up to a group of security chiefs who have failed. Secondly, the fact that Buhari is an ethnic bigot and a religious extremist will not allow him to consider other people, no matter how well equipped or well qualified they are, because of their region and ethnicity. Mark my words, it will still boil down to Muslim Fulani or Muslim from Cornut. This is because he has an agenda. He no longer able to pretend about which is Islamization. Ever thought of a national security meeting without a balanced representation? Who knows what they discuss there? Do we even know if they are the ones encouraging this killing? I have no doubt about that. I am for everybody and I am for nobody. How market? That's a serious one day. And this one say enough of politics and sentiment on national security matters, as it affects us all in respect of our political party or ethnic background. The country is not progressing in terms of security. The security chiefs have all exhausted their strategies, as the whole idea doesn't complement the reality on ground, as people are fed up even after receiving fat annual budget. And this one said, I did not pray the military should take over, but let the right person be there. Buhari that wants to arrest criminal, his own criminality is beyond ordinary. Result, forgery, forcing himself to be a president through obvious rigging, while he was not the one voted for. All the evidence footage brought to the court to show that Buhari did not win 2019 election prove abortive. None of the footage was allowed to be watched in the presence of Justice Tanko Buhari, elected Chief Justice. As long as Buhari is still in power as the president of this nation, forget about terrorist eradication, but terrorist accumulation. Wow, and this is really a very serious issue for us Nigerians. A lot recommendation from the rep is that the service chief should be changed. But the question is, does it mean the presidency have not seen what has been happening lately in respect to security? These are not for these guys to crave for them to be removed. For me, it's just a waste of time, because let the truth be told, President Buhari every day has full knowledge of what is happening, the progress thus far. If nobody talks to him, I believe that the media person talks to him about the outcry of Nigerians in respect to the level of insecurity in the country. And I believe that, and before I even go further to discuss, severally they have had a closed-door meeting, him and the service chiefs. And every time what we hear is that there is progress. But right now, it's staring at our face. I think I stand with the recommendation of Abaribe, who says that they hate himself, just step down, because to him, it's like he doesn't really understand the extent to which this thing has gone. He has already promised Nigerians that he's going to step in, and this time around the strategy will change. And I think he's not the only person that is saying that. Even some of the northeastern governors and middle belt, some of them were lackadaisical about the issue of insecurity. But the closeness of it to their doorstep has made a lot of them to say no more games. For example, the governor of Plateau State came out openly and said, hey, no more games again. I'm going to be a different person from now henceforth. I'm going to be serious with this issue. And that's what we want. Because the truth of the matter, what makes a state is actually the people living there. By the time they end up eradicating all the people in your state, who are you going to govern? Who are you going to be governor to? So it makes no sense for you to sit back and be watching this thing. It shows that you do not even understand what is actually happening. With the recommendation of the reps that this guy should be removed, it's long overdue. I'm telling you, it's long overdue. They've done their best. Thumbs up to them for the achievement thus far in this how many years? I think 5 years now. Thumbs up to them. But I think lay them aside and then bring up new people. And it shouldn't be a product. It shouldn't be a product of ethnicity. Drop all those things. We are Nigeria. There is nothing like Fulani Nigeria, Southeast Nigeria. We are one Nigeria, and this thing is biting so much. Unfortunately, I'm so amazed that even the Southerners are showing so much interest in this thing. While though it's been happening around them, but not as tough as what we hear in Borno, what we hear in Plateau, and the likes. There are so many families now, they are not even sure of their lives again, because any time of the day they can just come in, and before you know, they eradicate everybody. Imagine some of the families may have had plans for this year. Oh, these are the things I'm going to do, and these are the things, and only for them to sleep one day and wake up, Boko Haram is everywhere, shooting and killing them. It's really, really unbearable, and I think that the government should not joke about it. The service chief should be saluted and told to step down. Thank you thus far for taking Nigeria this far. But right now, I think we need fresh ideas, and you need to step down.
All right, but for me, it's actually a painful one. I expected them to do this long time ago. You can't keep using the same team if it's not giving you the right results. You change your team, you change your tactics, you change your approach, you change everything to get a different result. You don't expect to do the same style and expect a different result. It's not done. It's not possible. Now, if this is achieved, then another thing that is really bugging my mind is the fact that, if the president keeps saying that he's surprised at the level of insecurity that is taking place in Nigeria, the question now is, where has it been all along? Is it that the service chief don't give him up to date, they don't keep him abreast? And just a few hours ago, Anoche said something about Buhari being the first to throw the stone. All these things, Anoche is very quick to come to the social media. I expected her to also be the one to go and update the presidency on the feels and the pains Nigerians are going through out there, social media present. But rather, it's rather painful. I feel that we should remove sentiment here. This is lives we're talking about. Lives don't have duplicates. Nigerians are crying every day, and life is only one. So we don't begin to play politics on it. I expect that the presidency should begin to get the best hands, remove ethnicity from this. If there's a good personnel out there, remove the fact that he is not in your good books. If he can deliver results, please put him in the team, by all means. Because it's really surprising, really, that the governor of Borno and the rest are not really screaming fire and brimstone. They are actually, it looks like they're even comfortable in it. It's the likes of Otom Lalong, Simon Lalong, that's the governor of Plateau, that seem to have realized all of a sudden that it looks like this thing I'm playing games with is actually at my doorstep, and it's beginning to react. But we don't need to wait for it to get down to the southwest or south. All hands should be on deck. It's not done anywhere that insurgents will overrun a country. It's not done anywhere. That means either the service chiefs are not on top of their job, or someone somewhere is actually, someone somewhere is aiding it or giving, there are malls everywhere. And this should be stopped now, should be caught at the nip now to save Nigeria as a country.
All right, thank you very much. And I want to look at the recommendation of this guy, this guy who came up and talked about those who are manning those areas, that they should be removed because some of them are already tired of what they are currently seeing. And I think that's a good idea. Keep one or two, but the others, remove them, because some of them, after a while, they are so used to the whole situation and they are not even interested whatever that is happening and all of that. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What's your position on the recommendation by the House of Reps about the case of the service chief resigning or face a sack? What do you have to say about this, considering the state of the nation in terms